gentleman doesn't need an introduction.
Hi.
Anderson, Matt Dunn, CagePlay.com. Anything? Any news yet? Any news yet on your next fight, when it's going to be, and at what weight it's going to be?
I don't know. My manager talked to the data, but I don't know. Chuck, Todd, I don't know.
At 205?
Well, they haven't decided yet. They wanted us to fight in February, but we chose to fight in April. It's still up in the air if it's going to be at 185 to defend the title, or if it's going to be at 205 for a super fight. So hopefully within the next 2 weeks we'll get the date and the opponent locked down.
So if it's at 205, who would that be against, Chuck?
Who knows who it would be against? It could be Chuck, yeah.
In regards for 205, are you looking more towards now stepping up to more Pacific guys to go up against, so you can in line for getting both those belts?
Logicamente que a gente já tem a pessoa certa para lutar nessa categoria para disputar o cinturão, que é o Lyoto, mas se tiver essa oportunidade, com certeza eu vou lutar, mas não é meu objetivo não.
My main goal is not necessarily to go after the belt. We already have someone on our team that's going to be getting that 205-pound belt, and that's Lyoto Machida. So my main focus is not really the 205-pound belt. I'll just keep defending my belt, and when the super fights come up, I'll take them.
So how do you feel about the possibility of fighting George St. Pierre after he takes on BJ Penn?
That's the question of the week, man. But I mean, I can pretty much answer the question. I mean, George St. Pierre's got his hands full for the next couple fights. He's got to take on BJ Penn and beat him, and if he beats him, he's got to fight Thiago Alves. So if all goes good and you know, he has a good performance, we'll see what happens. If that's the fight that the world wants to see, that's what, you know, Anderson wants to be involved in the biggest fights in UFC history, whether it's at 205 or 185.
Now, what would you fight him at? What weight would you fight him at?
He wants to fight us.
A 185?
Yeah.
Ask him what he's going to do from now until April, if he's going to train through or...
Who does he consider his favorite fighters?
Bruce Lee, Jack Chan.
Anderson, who would you say is the pound for pound champion right now?
Eu acho que não existe ainda. Todos os lutadores do continente são grandes lutadores, mas acho que não tem ninguém que possa levar esse título. Porque todos estão correndo o risco de perder e ganhar. Então, que supostamente deram para mim, eu não aceito. Respeito muito a opinião das pessoas, mas eu acho que não tem ninguém Paulo melhor do mundo, até porque a gente tem grandes lutadores. A gente tem Jorge St. Pierre, a gente tem o BJ Penn, Chuck Liddell, Vanderlei Silva, Lyoto Machida, Minotauro, enfim, uma infinidade de grandes lutadores.
I don't necessarily think there is a pound-for-pound champion at this point. In the UFC, they have the best fighters in the world that in any given day, any of those guys can get beat. We've got guys like George St. Pierre, BJ Penn, Lyoto Machida, Rodrigo Nogueira, Chuck Liddell, Vanderlei Silva. At any given day, those guys can get beat. So, you know, I respect everyone's opinion, and I know people have mentioned that they consider me the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, but I don't accept that title because at any given day, anybody can get beat.
Thank you. How would you feel about rematching Pat? Rematching Pat once he rehabs his knee after his surgery. How would you feel about a rematch with Patrick Cote? Since he is the only one to ever make it to the third round with you in the UFC.
Cote é um grande lutador, eu acho que ele tem que ser respeitado, assim como todos os outros lutadores que representam o Ultimate. Ele teve a oportunidade dele de lutar comigo e mostrou o potencial dele, lógico. Não sei, isso não depende de mim, mas se ele tiver uma nova chance de lutar pelo título e eu ainda for campeão, com certeza eu vou lutar com ele.
You know, Patrick Cote is a great fighter. He should be respected, obviously, by the fights he's done in the UFC. But the way I feel is Patrick Cote had his opportunity. And, you know, if he comes back and proves himself and gets the opportunity to fight for the belt again, and if I'm still fighting and still the champion, then let's do it. But at this point, you know, he had his opportunity.
I got a question related to Dana White and UFC. Recently there was problems with the summertime regarding contract negotiations with the UFC video game and how guys like John Fitch and King Velasquez were kind of caught under guard, especially with that management team. So I'm just curious, since you represent Anderson Silva, I just wanted to know what in terms of the deal, did Anderson Silva have to sign out like his name or like fight footage from the past to be able to license his name for future UFC video games and licensing deals?
Well, you know, everyone has a contract to sign, and you know, we've made our negotiations and we've made our changes to the contract. But unfortunately, because of the confidentiality in the contracts, we can't really talk about it. But all of our guys are all right.
So will we be able to see Anderson Silva involved in other projects in the near future, not so much related to UFC?
You'll definitely be able to see that.
I'll take one more question, then after weigh in Dean Martin, please. One more question.
One question for Anderson. Was Okami faking?
Was Okami faking? That is the question.
Olha só,
Was Okami faking? That was the question.
não recebi as regras. E eu vinha do evento do Japão que eu podia atacar de baixo para cima. E não me explicaram as regras. E aí acabou que ele tomou uma pedalada e olhou pro canto.
What happened was when he went and fought in Hawaii at that time, he was fighting in an event overseas where you can up-kick an opponent if you were on your back. He wasn't explaining the rules properly. They didn't have a translator. They didn't explain the rules properly to him. So he basically was fighting underneath the rules that he was fighting in England. And what ended up happening is he took a shot in the face and you know, he went to sleep.